Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to create aligned documents in SDL Trados Studio 2014. As we look at this general graphical user interface, you can see that it's changed quite a bit since the 2011 version. I want to draw your attention to this button that says Align Documents. This is what we're going to use to align two translated documents. The first thing that Trados is going to ask you to do is to select a translation memory. Think of this step as selecting a box where your aligned translation units are going to be kept once you're finished aligning them. In this case, I want to create a new translation memory. And so in order to do that, I select Create and then New File-Based Translation Memory. I want to call this Alignment Assignment, and we'll call it SP 2014. Note that Trados gives you the location where it's going to be stored, but I'm going to change that. I'm going to put it on the desktop into this alignment assignment folder here. And you can see that it's changed the path. Now, Trados has automatically selected my source language to be French and my target language to be English. This is because I have always translated from this pair, and Trados just has already figured out that it is my preferred language pair. If you want to change the source language, just use the drop-down menu to select your source language, and if you want to change the target language, do the same in the target language window. And we'll click Next. For the Fields and Settings window, just keep all of the defaults. For the language resources as well, just keep the defaults. And you can see that the new translation memory is being created. Once it's completed, you can click Close. Now we come back here, and Trados is we're going to continue towards the alignment portion of this task. So we click Next. What Trados is going to ask you to do is to select a source file, which will be displayed right here in this column, and a target file, which will be displayed in this column. So we go to this Add button and we select a source file. It's taken me to my alignment assignment folder, where I have already prepared a Word document in French and a Word document in English. So I'm going to click on the Word document in French as my source file. Now I want to add my target file, and I'm going to select my my translated or target file in English. And you can see that they are lined up in this window right here, and I click Next. In the next window, there is an alignment quality value default of 70. I want you just to keep it the way it is, and for the other options, just accept the defaults for now. And you can see that Trados has very quickly aligned the documents and is telling you here that it has imported 16 translation units. So let's take a look at what they look like. Note that Trados takes you now to the Translation Memories window. You can tell you're in the Translation Memories window not only by the ribbon up here with all of the Translation Memories functions, but down here in the bottom left-hand corner you can see the Translation Memories tab, and that indicates where you are within the software. This area might resemble the editing window to some people, but it is not the editing window. I just want to point that out. It is the Translation Memories window. So I go through my alignment and I see the first and the second aligned pairs look pretty good rather, but the third one is not very well aligned. And in this instance, what I'm just going to do is mark the TU for deletion. That means mark the translation unit for deletion. I go through and I look at how things look. So far so good, except when I get down to 12 and 13, it looks like things have gotten a little bit skewered, so I'm just simply going to mark the TU for deletion. So I have 3 translation units that I've marked for deletion, and I go up here to the top ribbon here and I click on Commit Changes. It asks me, are you sure you want to commit the 3 pending changes? This action cannot be undone. Yes, I say, and I click yes. Okay, so this is what my translation memory looks like. This is also what an aligned document looks like. A translation memory is simply a collection of aligned translation units. Now let's see how that works when you're actually translating a document. Let's go to the Projects window. What I want to do in the Projects window is I want to create a new project. I want to accept the defaults, and it's going to ask me to give my project a name. So what I'm going to do is call it Alignment Assignment, and I'll just keep it SP14. You can see that the location here is automatically in the Studio 2014 Projects Alignment. That is okay because I can actually bring in the TM from the desktop, and you'll see what I do in a few minutes. I'm going to click on Next. My source language in this case is French, and my target language is English, United States, and I have to add that to this little area right here and then click Next. Now I'm going to go get my project files. Now for my project files, I'm just going to get the file in French, and I'm just going to get it from that desktop folder where I have that Word document that I have already prepared. Now here's the area where I add my translation memory. We're going to add the translation memory that we just created. So we're going to this time use the Add button, and we're going to add a file-based translation memory. Now if you remember, we have to go back to the desktop. This is where I saved this. I went to the alignment assignment, and you can see that I have my alignment assignment SP 2014 translation memory. Note that it has a file extension of SDL-TM, which simply means SDL Translation Memory File Extension. I'll pull that into my project and click Next. We're not using a term base for this project, so we'll just click Next. And we'll just take the defaults for the SDL Perfect Match. For the project preparation, what I want you to do is to prepare with the project TM. That simply means preparing with the TM. If you just select prepare, it means it'll prepare it with the project's TM. And we're going to take the defaults for the batch processing settings, and we'll finish. And you can watch the project as it's prepared and watch its progress. So it looks like everything's complete with no errors and no warnings, so we'll just click Close. Now here we are back in our projects view, and up here is the name of the project, Alignment Assignment SP14. I'm going to double click on that. It brings up the Alignment FR, the French document, which you can see has a file extension of SDL-XLIF. I'm going to double click on that. Now the file has been opened in the editing window, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll through the text, and I want you to watch how the translation memory is leveraged as you do this translation. Note that the AT means automatic translation. The URLs are simply brought over from the other side, as is. All of these translations are in draft form. You can see the pencil does not have the check mark on it yet, but we have a 99% match. So as you go through the translation, I just want you to observe how much leverage you get from a translation memory. And as part of your assignment, I want you to do two things. I want you to take a screenshot of this area, this editing area, just to show how well the TM leveraged, how much leverage you got from the translation memory that you created. It looks like we got, in fact, quite a lot of leverage. The only issue is that we had to take out some translation units, which is probably why we didn't get 100% leverage. So I want you to take a screenshot of this area, and I also want you to go down to the translation memories down here, and I want you to take a screenshot of that. So just to repeat, what I want you to hand in for this project is, from the editing window, a screenshot of the editing window. The document does not have to be fully translated. I just want to see what it looks like when you've tried to integrate a TM into your translation. And I also just want you to do another screenshot of this area which indicates or displays the translation memory. So take both of those screenshots and upload them to the Moodle homework area, and then you will be done with this assignment. Okay, if you have any questions, please put them on the discussion board.